Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Guruvallabha Sunda Om Jnanati Mirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshura Militam Yanam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Sanyam Rupa Gadamayam Tadati Sakarantikam Vandeyam Sri Guru Sri Yotapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sirupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Sri Vishagandhamscha Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinodando Jagatpate Gopesha Govika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisavano Sare Devi Pranamani Hare Priya Manchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyaheva Chatpaditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Reading from Jaiva Dharma by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, 3rd chapter. And Namitika Dharma is to be relinquished. So Premdas Babaji Maharaj is speaking to Sannyasi Thakur, who had become initiated, who was known as Vaishnav Das. In a simple way, of course, he was initiated. So acceptance was there in the heart from both sides. And that is actually a real initiation. Of course, for the conditioned souls, formality has to be there. So they take it seriously, and then the sacrifice is there in front of deities, in front of the fire. And questions are raised, and so answers are given. So one gentleman came one time also to the assembly of the devotees, and then Paramahamsa Babaji Maharaj then asked Vaishnav Das to answer. So Varna Ashram has been explained, the importance of Varna Ashram. And was explained last time also. Prabhupada, he was also stressing towards the end, before his disappearance, that Varna Ashram must be established. And also Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada was emphasizing that besides performing our devotional service, which is most important, so Varna Ashram has to be established, and the majority of the conditioned souls, they have to adopt the principles of Varna Ashram. This way, one may be able to advance slowly but surely. But then again, of course, here it is also stressed that ultimately service to Krishna, that is most important. and especially chanting the holy names, and then the Pancha Mahattapurnam, hearing Bhagavat, Krishna Katha, Hari Katha, especially from the advanced devotees. And worshipping the deities, that is also important for the sadhakas, especially in the beginning stage. So, also it was explained about the importance of chanting the Brahma Gayatri for the sadhakas, especially of course those from the upper classes. And previously it was only given to male members of the society. But other Gayatris were given also, besides the Brahma Gayatri. And amongst the Pancharatric mantras, and that is for everyone, from any class of society. And that is the Guru Gayatri and the Gauranga Gayatri and Krishna Gayatri, Kam Gayatri and Gopal Mantra. So, in continuation, actually the only true Nitya Karma for the Jivas is Krishna Prem. In ontological terms, this true Nitya Karma is referred to as unalloyed spiritual cultivation, Vishuddha Chit Anushilana. So Nitya Karma, so that is Nitya Dharma, the activity for the devotees. Whereas as explained, otherwise Nitya Karma, that refers also to daily activities according to Varna Ashram, like taking bath in the morning. That is also known as Nitya Karma, Nitya Karya. But ultimately, so different meanings are there of Nitya or Karma. But the ultimate activity for the Jiva is devotional service with love. So therefore is mentioning here Krishna Prem, that is Nitya Karma. So, in ontological terms, this true Nitya Karma is referred to as unalloyed spiritual cultivation, Vishuddha Chit Anushilana, or activities directed towards reinstating one's pure transcendental consciousness. The physical activities that one will naturally have to adopt to attain this Chit Anushilan are assistants to Nitya Karma. So there is no fault in referring to them as Nitya Karma. So here, it is first of all the matter of the consciousness. But then the physical activities, they follow naturally. And if the consciousness is there to serve Krishna, and then mentally also serving Krishna with the consciousness, then naturally also physical activities that will be referred to as Nitya Dharma or Nitya Karma. This, for example, also the pure devotee or the perfected souls. They're always situated on the transcendental platform. And eternal associates, they're always serving Krishna, but then they come in this world for the benefit of the conditioned souls. And those who by sadhana they come to the perfectional stage, realize their spiritual form, Sarup Siddhi, And then naturally their activities, the external physical activities, are also considered to be pure and part of Nitya Dharma or Nitya Karma. Because then they will speak about Krishna, Krishna's eternal pastimes, and they will try to help others to have the proper understanding and to advance in their spiritual life. From the absolute perspective, although it would be better to refer to such activities as Naimittika rather than Nitya. So here it is mentioned. From the absolute platform, that refers when the devotees are so fully engaged in serving Krishna on the transcendental plane. So that is in the spiritual realm, or even when they are here, the Nitya Siddha Parikar, so they are fully absorbed in Antardasha, when they are internally absorbed, and they are seeing themselves in the pastimes with Krishna. So from that absolute perspective, so then these activities in this world, they may be seen as Naimittika. So, because they are only for a certain time. So while they're in this world, then these activities are performed. So in this way, it should be understood. But it may be explained in both ways, and both are considered to be correct. For the pure devotees, whatever they are doing is pure, and it is beyond the material world. So therefore it may be seen as Nitya Karma. So there's no fault, as explained here, but on the other hand, from the absolute platform, so they may be seen also as Naimittika Karya, when they are in this material world. Because it is temporary. So even the pure devotees, so they appear and they stay here for some time, and then they disappear from this world. So this way may be seen as Naimittika, just like Krishna's pastimes. Nitya Lila in the spiritual world, and when Krishna comes here, his appearance and then going to Mathura, that is known as Naimittika Lila. That is occasional. But at the same time, that is also Nitya, that has been explained also. So because Krishna, then his appearance will be there in each universe, just like the sun is appearing to be just like rising constantly, one country after another country. So, but the sun is ever full and situated in his position. So Krishna is always perfect and complete. But in the pastime is appearing. Similarly, the pure devotees also, they are engaged in the pastimes of the Lord in the spiritual world, but at the same time, so they manifested here. And then there's an appearance, and they grow up like apparently just like a normal child. So just like for Krishna, so it may be seen for the pure devotees also. The divisions of karma into Nitya and Naimittika only from a relative viewpoint, and not from the absolute spiritual perspective. From the point of view of the essential nature of things, the Nitya Dharma of the Jiva is unalloyed spiritual practice, and all other types of Dharma are Naimittika. This applies to Varnashram Dharma, duties prescribed for the castes and orders of human civilization. Ashtanga Yoga, the eightfold yoga system. Sankhya Yoga, the path of knowledge involving analytical research into the nature of spirit and matter. And Tapasya, asceticism. So here to clarify, ultimately, so Nitya Dharma, that is pure devotional service towards the Lord, and then Naimittika Dharma, so that refers to Varna Ashram, Ashtanga Yoga, and so on. And so where Krishna is not completely in the center, and the activities are not completely for Krishna's satisfaction. So that has to be understood. But if a pure devotee is performing his activities and following Varna Ashram, so then we can also not say that it is Naimittika Dharma or that it may be given up. Like mentioned here, Naimittika Dharma is to be relinquished. So that refers to these activities. In Varna Ashram or Ashtanga Yoga or Varna Ashram, when Krishna is not in the center. But when Krishna is in the center, so then it becomes devotional service, whatever externally is performed also. So most important is the consciousness. The pure consciousness or desire to be solely and fully engaged in Krishna's devotional service. These are all Naimittika Dharma because the Jiva would not need these dharmas if he were not bound. The conditioned state of being bewildered by Maya is itself a circumstantial cause, and the function or duty that is prompted by a circumstantial cause, nimitta, is also known as Naimittika Dharma. Therefore, from the absolute spiritual perspective, they are all Naimittika Dharma. Naimittika Dharma includes the superiority of the Brahmanas, their sandhya bandhana, and their acceptance of sannyas after renunciation of all karma. All these activities are highly recommended in the Dharma Shastras, and they are beneficial in consideration of appropriate eligibility, but they still have no standing in relation to nitya karma. So a quote is there from Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 9th chapter. Viprajvi sadguna yutad aravindanabha padaravinda vimukat sapacham varishtham manyetad arpita mano vachane hitarta pranam punati sa kulam natu bhuri manaha. In my estimation, a bhakta was taking birth in a family of dog-eaters, but who has dedicated his mind, words, activities, and wealth to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, superior to a brahmana, endowed with all 12 brahmanical qualities, but who is diverted from the lotus feet of Sri Padmanabha. Such a bhakta, although of lowly birth, can purify himself and his entire family, whereas the brahmana who is filled with pride cannot even purify himself. So here a clear distinction also is made. So one may be a brahmana and engage in brahmanical activities, which is highly recommendable. So, but if he is, as mentioned here, proud, then what is the use if he's proud? If he's not engaged in pure devotional service, then what is the use? He cannot purify himself, what to speak of his family. Whereas a devotee was first taken birth in a family of dog-eaters, but by good fortune, if he comes in the association of a devotee, a pure devotee, and engages in devotional service, then he becomes more qualified than a brahmana. So then he will purify himself and his family also. So the superiority of Nitya Dharma is clearly established. And Namitika dharmas from that point of view has to be given up. If Krishna is not in the center, if it is not done for Krishna's satisfaction. The 12 qualities of Brahmanas are truthfulness, control over the senses, austerity, freedom from malice, modesty, tolerance, freedom from envy, sacrifice, charity, fortitude, studying the Vedas and accepting vows. Brahmana is endowed with these 12 qualities are certainly virtue of honor in this world. However, if a Chandala is a Bhakta, is superior to Brahmanas who possess these qualities but do not have Krishna Bhakti. The purport is that a person who was born a Chandala but who has been purified by samskaras, impressions achieved through sadhusanga, and who is now engaged in the jiva's nitya dharma of pure spiritual cultivation is superior to a Brahmana who is established in Naimittika dharma but who abstains from the nitya dharma of unalloyed spiritual practice. So the Brahmanas again here, it is emphasized the Brahmanas are to be respected and they have many good qualities as mentioned here. But if the Brahmana is not engaged in devotional service, and then is not completely properly situated. Whereas one who is born in a Chandala family of dog eaters, but so the point is here by sadhu sangha, in association of the sadhus, and then by becoming purified through samskaras, purificatory rites are there, the samskaras, impressions. So by the mercy of the sadhus, and then if they are engaged in devotional activities, like chanting the holy names, hearing Krishna Katha, serving the deities, then that person is superior to a Brahmana. There are two kinds of human beings in this world. Those who are spiritually awake, udita vivek, and those who are spiritually unconscious, anudit vivek. So udit to means just arising, suryodaya, rising of the sun, udit, arisen or awake, vivek, the sort of fine discrimination is there. And then others who are anudit vivek, whose consciousness is not awoken, so whose discrimination is not proper. Most people in this world are spiritually unconscious. Those who are spiritually awake are rare. So in this material world that is seen, that the majority of the people, they don't have so much interest in spiritual life. That is all over the world. Even although in India, maybe more persons, they are awake, but still, it is more rare, minority. Even although we know that in order to make advancement in spiritual life, so one has to be vegetarian. That is the first thing in spiritual life. You can see even in India, more than half of the population they are eating meat. Most probably even 70% nowadays, unfortunately. That means they are spiritually not awake. So by good fortune one is spiritually awake and engaged in spiritual activities, then one can, by the mercy of the sadhus, one can advance. And then one should try to help others also. One should try to wake others up. Jiv jago, jiv jaga. Jiv jago. Jiv, you jago, you get up from your slumber, from being in illusion, in Maya. And engage in spiritual activities, serve the Supreme Lord. Of those who are spiritually unconscious, the Brahmanas are the best. And the Brahmanas' Nitya Karma, such as Sandhya Vandana, is the best of all the duties that are prescribed for the different Varnas. So, the Brahmanas, if they are not engaged in devotional activities, they also address the spiritually unconscious. And their activities, especially Sandhya Vandana, that is the best activity which they are performing. So usually they chant the Brahma Gayatri. And so their indication is there of the Lord. And that He is worshipable, that He should be meditated upon, and that He may manifest in our heart. And it is expected that by chanting the Gayatri and engaging in studies of the Vedic literatures, that they may be awake, that they may wake up also. But usually there is a need of help, from the help of the saintly persons, the sadhus. Another name for those who are spiritually awake is Vaishnav. So those who are spiritually awake, they are known as Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas also means the one who is worshipping Vishnu. Vishnu. One who is worshipping Vishnu is known as Vaishnav. And so Vishnu can refer to Krishna also. Vishnu means all-pervading, so Krishna is all-pervading. All the names of the different Vishnu Murtis, Keshav, Madhav, Narayan, these names actually, they can apply to Krishna also. Narayan, Nara-ayan, Nara means the human beings. So it's the refuge, Ayan, the refuge of the human beings, especially those who are spiritually inclined. So another name for those who are spiritually awake is Vaishnav. Their behavior will necessarily be different from the behavior of those who are spiritually unconscious. Even so, the behavior of the Vaishnavas is not opposed to the aim of the Smriti rules, which are established in order to regulate people who are spiritually unconscious. The ultimate aim of all the Shastras is always one. So the Vaishnavas, so they follow the scriptures. So different rules are mentioned in the scriptures, Shruti or Smriti. So regulated life has to be there. So the Vaishnavas are also regulated in their life. And so they are there. They are exemplary to show the common man what should be done and what should not be done. So they follow the relative principles also of Varnashram. They're following Varnashram also. externally. And Krishna is always in the center. So therefore one ashram, for them, it is also them engaging in the service of the Lord. They do everything for Krishna's pleasure. Their occupation is for Krishna's pleasure. The household is grihastha. That is for Krishna's pleasure. They will have deities at home. And they engage the family members in Krishna's seva. And they don't think themselves as proprietors of the house, of the family, of the wealth. Everything belongs to Krishna. But as explained, from one point of view, so that becomes also nitya karma or Jaiva Dharma, because everything is for Krishna's pleasure. But then from the ultimate point of view, as spirit soul, as eternal servant of Krishna, and being actually engaged in loving exchange with Krishna, so from that point of view then it may be seen as external, as nanitika also. So that has been explained. Those who are spiritually unconscious are obliged to remain confined to a particular portion of the stark and rudimentary injunctions of Shastras, whereas those who are spiritually awake receive the underlying essence of Shastras as an intimate friend. These two groups of people perform different activities, but their aim is the same. Intelligible people may think that the behavior of those who are spiritually awake is opposed to the behavior of people in general. But in reality, the fundamental aim of these different patterns of behavior is the same. So externally we may see that one is both are following one ashram. The Vaishnavas and those who are not yet Vaishnavas. And from that point of view, so it may be seen as same behavior. And ultimately the goal is that one may become a Vaishnava. And then one may fully engage in devotional service. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. From the point of view of those who are spiritually awake, people in general are eligible for instructions regarding Namitika Dharma. Okay. However, Namitika Dharma is in essence incomplete, asampurna, adulterated, mishra, impermanent, achirasthai, and fit to be rejected. So, okay, we're reading from Jaiva Dharma. So here, so general people, they are supposed to hear instructions in regards to Namitika Dharma, and they're supposed to follow also. But ultimately what is required that one engages in pure devotional service. Otherwise it is, as mentioned here, incomplete, or it is adulterated, it is not permanent, and it's ultimately to be given up. So ultimately pure devotional service is required, and that is giving pleasure to the Lord, and that is for the benefit of the sadhaka, the practicing, aspiring transcendentalist. Namitika Dharma is not direct spiritual practice. Rather, it consists of temporary material activities that are taken up to attain pure spiritual practices. Hence, it is merely the means to an end. The means is never complete because its function ceases when it has produced the end. Therefore, it is simply a farce in the achievement of the final goal. Consequently, Naimittika Dharma is never complete, sampurna. So that is for the beginners. They have to perform Naimittika Dharma. And so it is there, so they may come to the spiritual platform. So they may understand that pure devotional service has to be performed. And so then it becomes the means to the end. The end of the goal is pure devotional service. And so Naimittika Dharma is there to help one to come to pure devotional service. So therefore, from that point of view, in the beginning, so Naimittika Dharma is not complete. For example, a Brahmana chanting of Sandhya Vandana, like his various other duties, is temporary and subject to specific rules. These activities do not stem from his natural spiritual proclivity. If after performing these prescribed duties for a long time one obtains the association of Shuddha Bhakta, Sadhusanga, one develops a taste for Harinam. At that time, Sandhya Vandana no longer remains a temporary prescribed duty which is directed towards material reward, karma. Harinam is complete spiritual practice, whereas Sandhya Vandana and other such practices are only the means to obtain this principal goal and cannot be the complete reality. So again here, so to emphasize, it is explained that Brahmanical activities, and chanting the Gayatri mantra, the Brahma Gayatri, so that is definitely to be respected, but if Krishna is not in the center, so then it does not produce the desired result. But then in the association of a sadhu, if one then follows the instructions of a pure devotee, Shuddha Bhakta, and especially in the age of Kali, if one is taking up the chanting of the holy names, then at this time Sandhya Vandana doesn't remain a temporary duty. Then it becomes also a spiritual activity, and it becomes a help so that one may be able to properly chant the holy names. So therefore even the Vaishnavas, they will get the Gayatri mantras. So that is a help. So they may be able to chant the holy names better. Naimittika Dharma is commendable because it aims at the truth, but it is eventually meant to be abundant heya, and it is mixed with undesirable results, mishra. Only spiritual reality is truly beneficial. So here, so Naimittika Dharma has to be abundant. And so that means the fruitive mentality to get some result of performing one's activity in this world, so that has to be given up. And ultimately it has to be a change of consciousness, giving up material consciousness and then in the mood that I am the servant of Krishna. So Sambandha Gyan. I am the servant of Krishna, I do for Krishna's pleasure. And then it becomes beneficial also. Whatever one is doing, or whatever one is doing with Krishna in the center. And they're also following the rules and regulations of the scriptures, but under the guidance of the spiritual master. He will tell what to do and what not to do, what is necessary, what is not so necessary. Mukhya Anga, the main limbs of devotional service are explained, and then Guna Anga, the external, or the secondary limbs of devotional service are there. Although the jiva should relinquish matter and its association, materialism is prominent in Naimittika Dharma. Moreover, Naimittika Dharma produces such an abundance of irrelevant results that the jiva cannot help but get entangled in them. So if one does not have the help of the sadhus, the saintly persons, then it is difficult to become free from the entanglement in this material world. So the spiritual master is helping the practicing devotee to become free from this entanglement in this material world. For instance, a Brahmana's worship of Vishwa is beneficial, but he is apt to think, I'm a Brahmana and others are inferior to me. The result of such false egoism is that his worship yields detrimental results. So that is an important point. A Brahmana will worship the Lord. But if he's thinking, I'm a Brahmana, I'm superior to others, so that is actually detrimental. So we can see amongst the devotees also. So that is still there. Aham mameti, I and mine. The false ego is still there. But that is detrimental. That has to be given up. But we should always be in that mood, das, anudas. I'm the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. So therefore here, a very detailed explanation is there of Nitya Dharma and Naimittika Dharma. And as we can see here, the consciousness is most important. So Brahmana, so is worshipping Ishvara, so the Supreme Lord. And so he may be considered a Vaishnava also then. But if he's thinking that is better, so then that will be not beneficial. And then it will be seen as Naimittika Dharma. Then he's not engaged in Nitya Dharma. In Nitya Dharma, the first thing is there that I am an insignificant servant of Krishna. I am not his body, I am spirit soul, I am the servant of Krishna. So if one is not on that platform, then it becomes Naimittika Dharma. So there's a very fine line also. And that has to be given up. Heya, that false pride. Another example is that an insignificant result of practicing the Eightfold Yoga system is the attainment of mystic powers which are most auspicious for the jivas. Of course, for one class of people. So by doing Ashtanga Yoga, one can attain some mystic power. And people, they become bewildered like that. And we have seen also, especially in India, Bharatvarsha, yogis are there, they have some mystic power. And then people become attracted, producing something, some gold coins, but some mystic power, some by trick, and people become impressed. So they become impressed by these external things. But that is has nothing to do with Nitya Dharma. So that is Naimittika Dharma. And then specifically also it is mentioned, the two unavoidable companions of Naimittika Dharma are Mukti and Bhukti. If one is performing activities in this world, then mostly two kinds of people are there. Those who want liberation, Mukti, or those who want Bhukti, material enjoyment. But that has to be given up. That is there. But the jiva must save himself from the clutches of Mukti and Bhukti if he is to obtain his real objective, which is the culture of pure spiritual reality. Chit Anushilana. Consequently, Naimittika Dharma entails much that is contemptible for the jivas. Chidanushinana. So that is the culture of following the spiritual reality, Chid Vastu, the Supreme Lord. But then usually, first of all, in the Anugatya Anushinanam of the Vaishnavas, of the devotees, a representative of the Lord. By the mercy of the devotees, we can approach the Supreme Lord. But then, as explained here clearly, one should be free from mukti and mukti. So of course, from one point of view, we want to become free from this material intelligence, from this material world, this material entanglement. That is all right, but even higher principle is that I simply want to be engaged in devotional service. As Mahaprabhu says, Nadanam nadanam na sundarim kavitam bhajagadi shikamaye mama janmini janminishwari bhavatar bhaktira haituki tvai. Mahaprabhu told, I do not desire anything of this world. Nadanam, najanam, na sundarim. Mama janmini janmishwari bhavatar bhaktira haituki tvai. So birth after birth, I want to be engaged in devotional service, in pure devotional service. So Naimittika Dharma is impermanent, achirasthai, for it does not apply at all times or in all conditions. For instance, a Brahmana's priestly duties, a Kshatriya's administrative or military duties, and other such circumstantial complications are brought about by a particular cause, and they cease when the cause ceases. So that is there in this world. So one may be Brahmana, one may be in a male form, but if he is not attaining perfection, in next lifetime, he may be a male person become female, if he's attached to female, to women. And then if he's not engaged fully in Brahminical activities, then he may become a Kshatriya, he may become a Vaishya, depending on his consciousness and his activities, or a Shudra. So that is, therefore it is mentioned, so that Naimittika Dharma is achirasthai. It is not permanent. Chirasthai means permanent, achira is impermanent. If a Brahmana takes birth as a Chandala, in his next life, the Brahminical occupational duties are no longer his Swadharma. So that may be there. If a Brahmana is not engaged in Brahminical activities, and then especially if he is sinful, then in the next lifetime he can become a Chandala. Means taking birth in a family of dog eaters. So that can happen. So then his Swadharma, so that is changing. I'm using the word Swadharma, on duty, in a figurative sense here. The Naimittika Swadharma of the Jiva changes in every birth, but his Nitya Dharma never changes. The Jiva's true Swadharma is Nitya Dharma, whereas Naimittika Dharma is impermanent. So here again, distinction is there, Nitya Dharma and Naimittika Dharma. So Nitya Dharma, service to Krishna, is always there. That will never change. But the Naimittika Dharma, the position in this world, they may change. So that, so here in length it is explained. So Vaishnav Das, with the blessing of Paramahamsa Babaji, so he's explaining. And so we'll continue a little more, it's almost finished, this conversation. And then again, one may ask, what is Vaishnava Dharma? The answer is that Vaishnava Dharma is the Jiva's Nitya Dharma. When the Vaishnava, the Jiva, is liberated from matter, he nurtures Krishna Prem in his spiritual form. Before that stage, when the Vaishnava is still materially bound, although spiritually awakened, he only accepts objects and associations that are favorable for his spiritual practice and rejects all that is unfavorable. Thus he never adheres blindly to the rules and prohibitions of the Shastras. He accepts the instructions and prohibitions of the Shastras graciously, but only when they are favorable to his practice of Hari Bhajan. When they are unfavorable, he immediately rejects them. So rules and regulations are there to be followed, but as one is progressing in spiritual life, so then he will accept that which is favorable, and what is not so favorable that he may neglect. So that is the point here. And so, and especially also here mentioned about the association. So he will associate with the devotees who are Swajatya, who have the same mood, so which is favorable. Especially he will associate with those who are more advanced, so he may advance more swiftly. And he will reject the association of persons who are not so favorable, who are not favorably inclined for devotional service, or who are not so advanced, who are critical. So he's never adhering blindly to the rules and regulations of the scriptures. He's using his intelligence. He's not a blind follower. He's not a fanatical person. He's using his intelligence. So that is a spiritually awake person. Udit Vivek. A Vaishnava is the world's only true friend, and he renders auspiciousness for all jivas of the world. Now I have humbly submitted whatever I had to say today in the assembly of Vaishnavas. Kindly excuse my faults and any offenses. And so having spoken thus, Vaishnava Das offers Ashtanga Pranam to the assembled Vaishnavas and set off to one side. But this time the eyes of the Vaishnavas had filled with tears, and they all exclaimed in unison, well done, sadhu, sadhu, blessings upon you. The groves of Godum echoed these words in response. So all the Vaishnavas, they were very happy with his explanation. So the Brahmana singer, who was new to the assembly and who had not yet developed pure sentiments, pure love for the Lord. So the Brahmana singer who had asked the question could see the profound truth of many of the topics presented in the discussions. Some doubts had arisen on certain points, but the seed of faith in Varna Ashram, in Vaishnava Dharma, had been significantly nourished in his heart. He folded his hands and said, "O great souls, I am not a Vaishnava, but I am becoming a Vaishnava by continuously hearing Harinam. If you will kindly instruct me, all my doubts may be dispelled." So the Brahmana, so he had come here, and so he was humbly listening to what Vaishnav Das was saying, so his heart was touched, and so he understood that although he is a Brahmana, he had some sentiment, some knowledge, but in regards to a proper understanding, so he understood that he is much inferior to this Vaishnava. So therefore he is expressing, I'm not a Vaishnav, but by your mercy I'm becoming a Vaishnav now. And so he was ready to continuously hear and to speak, or he was ready to hear Krishna Katha or Hari Katha, and then hearing Harinam in the assembly of the Vaishnavas. And so then he humbly asked from the assembled Vaishnavas to kindly instruct him so that his misconceptions, his doubts may be dispelled. So we stop here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama